Apple's next operating software for iPhone and iPad, iOS 15 and iPadOS 15, lands in the fall. And new features are becoming known. One of the latest addresses an issue in how app and game developers are able to utilize memory RAM. An Apple document at developer.apple.com has revealed something called COM, Apple Developer Kernel Increased Memory Limit, which is a Boolean value that indicates whether core features of your app may perform better with a higher memory limit on supported devices. Wait, where are you going? Come back, I'll explain. It's a lot cooler than it sounds. Basically, apps could get a whole lot more impressive. It means that app developers can ask for extra memory access in certain circumstances. It's been available privately for some internal processors but will now be available to third-party developers, not just within Apple. On the latest iPad Pro, for instance, there's either 8GB or 16GB of RAM depending on the storage on board. But, as 9to5Mac points out, this isn't available to developers. As Benjamin Mayo puts it, RAM can reach 16GB but the standard RAM per app limit is only 5GB. Per app RAM limits have existed in iOS since the first release. Unlike the Mac, iOS does not swap memory with the disk when memory runs low. So, iOS has to carefully manage resources. If a developer can access more than 5GB, all sorts of things can happen. Procreate, the brilliant digital illustration app, was one of the first apps to triumphantly make the most of the first iPad Pro. So, more RAM would add even more power to it. Procreate works using multiple layers on top of each other, used to enhance the subtlety and depth of your creations. It might have been expected that users with the 16GB RAM version of the iPad Pro would be able to open extra layers, but that's not the case. With access to more RAM, it's something that could be possible. Similarly, it could mean that games, one of the key categories of iPad use, could harness this extra RAM to make the graphics even more luscious and detailed, though some developers may not want to have two levels of capabilities in their products, of course. Even so, it's an exciting possibility. But it comes with a warning, as the documentation states that it's not guaranteed that access will be granted. If you use this entitlement, make sure your app still behaves correctly if additional memory isn't available. Apple also points out that higher memory use can affect system performance. So, use this power wisely, please, developers.